Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can create this simple album portfolio website using plain Bootstrap from the Bootstrap template. This is totally responsive and it can be viewable on both mobile device and desktop. So let's get started. So first we are going to create a new folder and call it Photo Gallery. Inside this folder, we are going to create another folder, call it CSS, then create folder for images. Now, we are going to go to pexels.com and then download some images that we shall use for the project. In my case, I've already downloaded the images, but let me show you how you can download it. So you search, for example, models, click on the image, choose download. I'm gonna do a custom size of 550 by 550, then download selected file. So you can browse through all the images and then download them. Once you're done downloading, you can go to downloads, open the folder, and then copy the images that you downloaded, come to photo gallery and go to images and paste those images there. So I've renamed them to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then BG. So let's also bring this one, let's cut this and paste it there, then rename it to 5. So now we have our images. Now next thing is let's open this in Visual Studio Code. So I'm just gonna go to File, Open Folder, navigate to my desktop, and then choose the folder. So now you can see we have images and we have CSS file which is empty. So I'm gonna create a new file and name it index.css, and then I'll create a new and name it index.html. Now, I mentioned that we are going to use Bootstrap ready-made template. So before we get started, you're going to go to extensions and then you're going to install an extension called Bootstrap 5 and Font Awesome Snippets. So I already have mine installed. If you've not installed yours, just click on install and then it will install. So once you have installed this extension, you come back to your index.html and then press shift ! And then you will see this option of templates that are available. If you don't see this, make sure that you install this extension. I'm going to show you again. Press shift ! And then navigate to album template. So now we have our full website here. So let me just open in live server and see. So this is how the template looks like. It has already come with all the Bootstrap files and everything is pretty much great. So we are just going to customize this template to suit what we want. So now you might be wondering, how is this possible? First, this is a Bootstrap template and it comes with Bootstrap file. This is the link to the template. And then we have Bootstrap, which is linked from the CDN directly here. Without this, it won't be able to work. So we are just going to customize this step by step. So let's start with our head region. So we are going to eliminate these meta descriptions, or you can just change them. And then we are going to change the title to My Photo Album. And then we can also remove this link since it's not going to be used anywhere. And then we have this style for the placeholder images. So since we are going to replace each of those placeholder images with our images, we don't need this style, so we're just going to remove all this. Right, now we have removed that. You can see what we have now. The thing is, we are going to start customizing the header. So you can see the header starts from here and ends here. So let's start with the header. So within the header we have about. So you can add here about me, and let's just change the information here. And then this part, you might be wondering, where is it? It's here. About me is right here. So contact is right here. Let's say contact me. And then you can add follow me on Twitter. Then add a link to your Twitter here. Like my page on Facebook. And then send me an email. So pretty much this is what we are going to customize in this page. So it looks like this. And then next is we are going to scroll down and move to this section where the navigation is. So we're just going to change album to my photo album. So this is going to appear here. And then this is an SVG image and it is this camera icon that you see here. Now that we are done with that section, So let's move to the next section. So we are not going to touch this for this button class, the toggler. This is this toggler button, in case you might not be understanding. So we are done with the header and it ends here. So let's move down and style the main section. So I'm just going to make this main section stop here. So that means I'm going to look for this main. Let's give it a class also of main. But then I'm going to close it here. I'm going to close the main here, and then I'm going to remove the closing tag which was down here. Now with the main section, we are going to change this text to welcome to my best shots. And then here I can add lorem. So let's give this a class of lead text, and then the H1, let's give it a class of heading. Then we are going to remove one button and then remain with one button, and then change the button text to book a photo shoot. So I'll just use mail to here and then add email.com. So now we have added this main section and this is how it looks. So now we are going to style this section. So to do that, let's link our CSS. Go back below the title and link our custom CSS. After linking it, let's go to index.css, which is pretty much empty, and we are going to start with our main. So we are going to give it a width of 100%, minimum height of 100, vertical height, and we give it a background image and give it linear gradient, then give it RGBA color 9,0,77,0.55, and then give another color which is RGBA as well, and it's just going to be the same 90, so that the gradient is uniform, then 0.55, and then outside this put a comma and then add the URL for the image, which is going to be images, and then we shall choose the background image. So this is how it looks. You can see the background image is here. So let's just make sure that it is centered. We are going to add a background size, which is here, and give it cover, and then background position center. You can see now the image moved to the center. Now next thing is let's style the heading and the text and the button, the items which are here. So go to give the heading a class called heading. If you're not sure, go back and copy it. So let's give it a font size of 60 pixels. Let's give it a font weight of 800. Then let's give it a color of white. So this is what happens. Then let's style the text. So give it a class called lead text. So we're gonna give it a color of white. Then let's give it a font size of 20 pixels. And this is what we have. So let's style the button. So I'm just gonna override the Bootstrap button class and give it a background color of dark blue, kind of 03031C. I guess since it's a Bootstrap class, we have to override it with important. Then also let's give it border 0. Let's override it. And then give it a border radius 25 pixels and also override it. And lastly, let's give it a padding of 10 pixels and 30 pixels and also override it. So yeah, this is how our button is. Now we have written our custom style. Let's go back. You see this is a bit, so let's just increase the container size. So we are going to go to our index.html and navigate to main. So we are going to increase this column size to 12 and then let this MD be 10. So by doing that, it's going to kind of stretch it. And then also let's give it a padding top of 5 so that it moves a bit below. Now we are done with this section. Let's go to the next section, which is this. First thing is we are going to get rid of these buttons and also get rid of these columns. So we shall just need one of these and then customize the rest. Now let's go back. We can inspect where this starts from. So I'm just gonna right click here and click on inspect. Then you can see it starts from container, it's album, container, and then row, and then within the row it has a number of columns. So we are just going to leave 3 columns. So the first column is here, the second column is there, the third is there, the fourth is there, the fifth, the 6th, the 7th, 8th, 9. So I'm going to just remove these columns and make sure I remain with 3. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to eliminate all this. By doing that, this is what we have now. We just have 3 columns. So let's also eliminate these buttons so that we just have a column. And so I'll just open one column and then remove this SVG. After removing the SVG, I'm also going to get rid of these buttons. It starts here. So let's do this and then just remove all this. And then customize the text. It's so long. So we have this. Now what we are going to do is we are going to add an image here just below the card shadow. So just add the image tag and then choose your image. So this is how it will look. We are going to copy this same column. Let's remove the 2 here. So we're just going to copy this column, copy C, and then paste it, and then also paste it. So that's what we have. Now we are going to change the image to image 2, image 3. So this section is done. So let's move on to the next section. Let's check if it's responsive. Yeah, it is. Alright. So the next section, we are just going to add our own part. So this section starts from here and ends here. So we're going to create a section and we are going to call it our gallery. Gallery.py, vertical padding of 5, and press enter. So after doing this, we are going to go to Bootstrap documentation. So let's just go get Bootstrap. So you search grid layout. So once you're here, you're going to see the example of grids here, grid options. So we have this 1 of 2, 1 of 2. So we are just going to use this example. So I'm just going to copy this code, then come and add it here. So once I add it there, you can come and view it. You can see it's here 1 of 2. So what we are going to do is we are going to change them and make them images. So instead of putting 1 of 2, we are going to add an image and then put image3.jpg. Let's give it a class of img fluid. So that's our first image. So we are just going to copy this same thing, paste it there, paste it, then paste it. So we shall change the image to 1, 2, 4, and 5. So you can see this is our gallery. So we are going to repeat this section again. So to do that, we shall just have to come here and get the first row, which is here, and then copy it. After copying it, let's minimize this row and see where this one ends. So this causes the container. So we are going to add it here. So you can see it added another thing in your gallery. So if you want to add another section like this, you're going to come back to the second row and just copy it. And then let's minimize this, paste it there. So it's basically row, column, and then the image, column, and then the image. So the columns are within the row. So when you come back here, this is your gallery. So the last part is the footer section. So the footer section, we are basically just going to modify the text, nothing much. So let's say this is our terms of service. So we can add here a call to action, book appointment, if you want to take photos, and then here the best photography. So my album, so we are going to modify this text, is made for my personal portfolio to showcase my work in photography. So my album is made for my personal portfolio to showcase my work in photography. So the best photography around town, book appointment. So So here, book appointment, we are going to add another mail to, then put the email, and I guess this is all back to top, goes back. So basically this is how you can create your simple photography portfolio within. Thank you so much for watching. This website is basically fully responsive. So let's dock this to the right. Then let's check it out in the different devices. So in Galaxy, this is how it's gonna look. And for iPhone users, this is how it's gonna look. So this is fully responsive, and you can host it on GitHub pages so that you get your work online and modify the text as you want and add your own images. So guys, I hope this was helpful. See you in the next video.